It's Steel Razor right here on your classic metal show that is called The Chains of Hate.
You know what I'm noticing?
What's that?
That you're starting to get a feel for the bands.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because I'm starting to know which bands you like.
Yeah.
You know, like I know you like that Steel Razor, and I'm pretty sure you like that. Was the one Starblind?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and you've always liked the Bill Peters bands. So,
yeah, of course.
You know, so it's good. We're finding a groove with the music, which I've been enjoying it to no end. I love that I don't know any of these songs really, and that it's fresh.
Yeah. Well, I've been getting familiar enough to where I can put two similar bands back to back. Mm-hmm. So you don't get like some major heavy band and then you get like some acoustic band right after it. You know what I mean? They kind of mesh.
And it's, and that's been the one thing is it's going to take a while because we don't know the funny thing is we're not doing it to expose people to this stuff. We're getting exposed to it ourselves. We didn't know any of these bands either.
Nope.
But sure have gotten a lot of good ones. What did you think of that Fifth Freedom or whatever that was?
That was real good.
I like that a lot. I'm like, how is that band not signed?
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe Frontiers doesn't want them or something.
Sure. Well, Frontiers only wants bands that are already established or have a name.
Well, they took Benedictum.
Yeah, but they only did a one and done with them though.
No, they did. Didn't they do all of them or no?
No, just the one.
Who did the other ones?
I think that was like on Locomotive, or I think Locomotive did one.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. Maybe SPV or somebody.
Yeah, SPV.
Yeah.
So they'll only do something that's already been established or been tried and true per se.
Right. Okay.
Because they want to invest their money, and this goes back to a short segment that we did last week was band or brand.
Right. Sure.
And they're only signing bands that have a brand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they go with name recognition.
Right. Yeah. And who could blame them? I mean, they're putting out some stuff that doesn't have name recognition, but it's all guys that do, like the Revolution Saints.
Right.
That's.
But the musicians in that have a brand.
Yeah. Speaking of that, guess who I got offered, and I jumped at it.
Who is it?
Dean.
Oh, Deen Castronovo?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I jumped at that as fast as I could the minute it was offered. I was like, yep, we'll do it. Whatever time, doesn't matter.
Sure.
We'll make that one happen because I want to ask him about the meth thing. Which probably God knows how that's going to go, but I'm definitely going to ask. Well, you know what? If he's doing interviews, he has to be answering the questions. Of course. Don't you think? I mean, what's he think? People are going to not ask those questions? Say, oh, so what was it like getting back in the studio again with Doug and Jack Blades? Nobody's going to ask that. They're going to be like, dude, you got booted out of Journey. What the fuck? Explain.
It ran its course.
Yeah, I was done with that anyway.
Yeah, I was kind of tired of it.
I wanted to get out of my contract. The only way I could was with meth. So I used a little meth. So what? It's over now. I found Jesus. All's better.
Yeah. Jesus forgives. You should too.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be so hung up on these details.
That's right. For God's sakes, the Lord has forgiven me. Why can't you?
Yeah. Why do you have to dwell on my past sins?
Yeah. That's the old days. Let's talk about today.
Yeah. I got a new project. Were you aware of it?
Yeah.
I mean, that is the reason why I called, right? I mean, do you have to dwell on my journey experience?
Yes, I do.
I mean, they didn't tell me you were going to be asking those questions.
Oh, didn't they?
Did you submit your list of questions before I called?
Remember those days?
Yeah. Well, we don't do that.
No, we don't do that. We're never going to do that.
Although, I mean, since you're going to have the opportunity to interview Dean,
mm-hmm.
I'd like you to get a few questions in about his time with Bad English.
Okay.
I mean, because it's been years.
Yeah.
And he played with John Wade, obviously, and Neil Schon and Jonathan Cain, along with Ricky Phillips.
Yeah. All guys we know.
So those are all, high-profile names.
Sure.
And they did a couple of albums, and I guess as an interviewer, what I would ask, and I'll leave that to your discretion as to what was the premise behind the band, and did he think that they should have gotten bigger than they did, or was it too little too late, or were they hoping that name recognition of the members alone would catapult them to the top, or because I did see them. I saw them open for Whitesnake, and they were a quote-unquote super group.
Yeah.
And I guess you could ask them questions about a super group, the idea or the thought process behind a super group.
Sure. Yeah. I love that first album. First album was really good. Second album, I don't think I ever really listened to that much. But Forget Me Not was a killer song. I like that song.
But obviously this was during the downtime of Journey.
Right.
Because it had two key members.
Yeah. Well, wasn't that when Perry was either quitting the band or having hip surgery? Or
Well, no. This was in the late 80s.
Oh, so was it at the time?
This was after Raised on Radio.
Okay,
because Raised on Radio came out, I think, in '86.
Yeah,
and Bad English, I think, hit the airwaves about '89. I'm thinking '88 or '89.
So Journey was probably just hiatus.
Yeah, like I said, it was the downtime for Journey,
right?
Because they basically didn't do anything for 10 years. I mean, they were done between 86 and 96 when they came back with Trial by Fire.
Right. And then Perry quit like immediately.
So Bad English came out in 89. So it was like almost 3 years after Journey was, performed their last show.
Right. All right. Yeah, I'll ask him some Bad English stuff. Why not?
Yeah. Because... I kind of dug the band. I mean, they were a little poppy, but, they were trying to fit in with the whole hair band era time. But they came in at the end of the 80s, and that was already starting to dwindle a bit.
Yeah, exactly. They were in the wrong period for that. They were in the Slaughter period instead of the Motley Crue period.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I'll ask him. Sure, why not?
Yeah, I just like a little of his take on the Bad English time.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? And that'll be the happy question before I hit with the hard question.
Sure, but you got to consider, in the modern Journey, if you will, Bad English had 3/5 of the members.
Yeah. And better songs.
So. Yeah, so when you get that chance, ask him a little Bad English questions. Okay. Because just for me, just because I'm kind of a fan and I kind of dug it a little bit, and it didn't get the fire. I didn't get the it didn't take off like I think they probably thought it would because of the power players that were involved.
Yeah, I also think that they got miscategorized too because the big hit was the ballad. Wasn't the big hit When I See You Smile? Was that them?
Yeah, that was huge.
That was a big hit.
I mean, that could have easily been a Baby song.
Yeah, but what it ended up doing is putting them in the same boat as like Extreme, where they kind of were a rockin' band, but no one knew it. Like with Extreme, the first two songs anybody really remembers from Extreme was More Than Words and Wholehearted, and didn't realize that they were such a heavy band. And not that Bad English was a heavy band, they weren't, but they rocked kind of hard, and Neil Schon played some wicked solos.
Well, I mean, he played some wicked solos in Hardline too.
Yeah, he did. Neil could play, man.
Yeah, he's a hard rocker. Neil, even though obviously Journey is more mainstream AOR rock, Neil Schon is like a hard rock guy.
Yeah.
Or
he's like a hard rock guy that really just never blossomed with it.
Right.
Because he was, I mean, if you go back and listen to Stars, the Dio song, We're Stars, they have that string of guitar solos. And almost no one will argue that the best solo on it is Neil's.
Yeah.
And Neil was like the outcast of that session. It's like all these heavy guitar players and Neil Schon, and Neil Schon blows them all away.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, when you get that chance, just ask him some of that.
I will do that.
Yeah, because that's of curious. That'd be curious for me anyway.
Well, maybe I'll see if I can make that a night interview and let you do the interview.
Well, I think that would be like one of those good interviews where both of us are involved in some way.
What? Both of us do an interview at the same time?
Yeah, tag team, man.
We haven't done that in ages.
It's been forever.
When was the last time? Have we done that once this year?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. We haven't done that in a long time.
The only one that we did is, like when Don called in a couple of times this year, and we had Stephen Piercy on the show.
Yeah, live ones we
did, yeah.
Haven't done a recorded one in a long time.
Mm-mm.
We could do that. The ironic thing is that we're on such a weird schedule right now that a lot of times I don't have time at night, and a lot of time, and all the time you don't have time during the day.
No, I mean I'm gone almost 12 hours a day.
Yeah, exactly. And when they and that's really how it ends up working. Is the interviews are almost always at like 2:00 in the afternoon, so I have to knock them down, and I do. And then if not, anytime they offer something at night, I try to give it to you because I do so many of them.
Right. Sure.
So if they say, hey, it's up till like 5 p.m. Pacific time, I always go for the last time that they have, and then give that one to you, so that you get some, and so it's not me doing fucking 40 interviews before you get one.
Sure.
So, and it works out. You did that what was his name? Pustulus.
Yeah, Pustulus Maximus.
And that one, people like that one. I got quite a few little messages from people saying how funny that was.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Did you hear another guy in fucking Guar is sick now?
No.
This week, the guy that plays Balzac, the Destroyer.
Yeah. Balzac.
He's got like ear, like not what do they call that when with cancer? He's got some cancer that is going to kill him.
Wow.
It's like another guy in Guar getting ready to die. The humans are winning, goddammit.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, yeah, I saw that this week. Another one of the guys has like life-threatening cancer. It's like, Jesus. Wouldn't want to be in that band.
Wasn't aware.
The only gig more dangerous than being in Guar is being the singer of Stone Temple Pilots. They're 2 for 2 and killing theirs.
Yeah, no kidding.